Luscious pears. In ancient China, a farmer went to the market to sell loads of luscious pears. He set up his barrow, and soon the crowd assembled. A poor, hungry, ragged-looking priest approached him and humbly asked for one pear. The farmer refused. The priest kept insisting. A man in the crowd came forward and asked the farmer to give the priest a rotten pear. But the farmer refused, and all the people close by began shouting. Then the constable of the market took out some cash out of his purse, bought a pear and gave it to the priest. The priest thanked the constable, bowed and told the people that he needed the pear not for himself but for growing. He ate up the pear, leaving a single pip. He dug a hole in the ground and planted it. The priest gently covered it with the soil. The wonderful pear tree. Then he asked for some water. A man in the crowd handed him, and he poured it on the soil. Immediately, the people saw green leaves sprouting from the soil. The people were shocked. Soon there was a small pear tree with branches and leaves. It continued to grow. There was complete silence as the tree burst into flowers, and the flowers turned into large sweet pears. Happily, the priest took the pears and handed them to each person. Then he took his axe and cut down the pear tree. He put the tree over his shoulder and went away. The farmer watched it in amazement. When he turned back, his barrow was empty. Even one of its handles were missing. Then the farmer knew what had happened. The priest had used his pears to create the wonderful pear tree. The pear tree, which the priest took away, was found a little further down the road. It was the missing handle of the barrow. The magic cask. Once upon a time, a poor man dug up a big cask in his field. He took it home and asked his wife to clean it. But when she started brushing the inside of the cask, all of a sudden the cask began to fill itself with brushes. She kept taking out the brushes, but the others kept on taking their place. The man sold the brushes and lived comfortably. One day, by mistake, a coin fell into the cask. Suddenly, the brushes disappeared and the cask began to fill with money. They became rich. Now the man asked his grandfather to keep taking out the money from the cask. As the old man was weak, one day he fell into the cask and died. Immediately, the money disappeared and the cask was filled with dead grandfathers. The man had to take all of them out. All his money was spent in burying the dead grandfathers. Finally, the cask broke. Now he was as poor as before. An ancient man. Huang An was an old man who was over 80 but still looked like a youth. Even during the winter, he went about without garments. He sat on a 3 feet long tortoise. Once a man asked him, "How old might this tortoise be?" Huang An replied, "When Fu He first invented fish nets and eel pots, he caught and gave this tortoise to me. From then on, I have worn its shield quite flat sitting on it." The tortoise is afraid of the light of the sun and the moon, so it sticks its head out of its shell only once in 2000 years. But from the time it is with me, it has already stuck its head out 5 times. Saying this, Huang An took the tortoise and walked on, and the legend had that Huang An was 10,000 years old.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.